Poland in their white shirts, red shorts, are playing from left to right, and they're underway against the Dutch, who are in their chain strip of the all navy blue with the orange trim. Dion.
Quite like the navy blue, it's nice, isn't it? It's quite a striking kit there. Netherlands have got on. Interesting to see how they start, they set up, what formations they're going to go for.
The Bruggen, who was named as the #1 coming into the tournament, there'd been so much conjecture, probably helped his cause that Justin Bijlo had missed so much of the second half of the season with a calf injury, the Feyenoord goalkeeper. But the Bruggen, finally Ronald Koeman settling that he would be the #1 as the ball is won there in the midfield by Schouten. Very inexperienced midfield. 24 caps between Jurdi Schouten, Tijjani Reinders and Joey Veerman. As Depay goes in search of the ball, and then coming across was Salomon, who clatters it out of play for a throw. Depay, who's closing in on Van Persie's record of the most goals for the Netherlands, wearing a headband as he will lead the attack. Cody Gakpo, who of course had a fine World Cup for the Dutch, he is on the left-hand side. As Depay will get a throw for the Dutch over on that far side. And now it's in the midfield with Veerman. Back out towards Dumfries, sends over a cross, it will eventually reach Gakpo, wasn't dealt with by the Polish defence. Gakpo inside the penalty area, look for the shooting opportunity, and a very good save by Chesney. Got down well on his near post behind for a corner, 0-0 early stages.
He needed to, he's going to his left, Chesney. Good work from Gakpo, the ball went straight down the heart of the 6-yard line. And Gakpo at the far post just recycled it, gets his shot up, but it's a good save.
And in front of that bank of orange support, both the tiers, large chunk where there's 50,000 Dutch fans in the city of Hamburg. In comes the corner, easily headed out, that was by Adam Buksa. And then picked up by Reinders in the midfield, plays it to Schouten, and then not taking any chances, Xavi Simons goes all the way back to Verbruggen. And now he waits and he tries to hit a direct ball through the middle. He was looking for the run there of Gakpo, headed away by Bednarek. Ball played forward now by Poland and Kiwior, who actually made his debut against the Dutch 2 years ago, and the Arsenal defender has now played in all 24 matches since making that international bow. 0-0. The whistles as taking his time, Verbruggen from the Polish support behind that goal. The red and white of Poland. Nice touch, nice take to feet by Gakpo on the left-hand side, looking for the return ball from Memphis Depay, and then the back pass to Chesney. But already there is enough indication in these opening 3 minutes, backed by this large Dutch support, that they're going to go on the front foot, the Netherlands. And already Michał Probierz, the Polish manager, is out and offering encouragement. They've got to be disciplined and organised. He looks rather dapper actually in his is that a three-piece suit?
Looks smart, doesn't he? Looks very smart.
Light brown suit, waistcoat. Looks very sharp.
I mean, it's going to be a long day for Poland. I mean, Verbruggen, just 2 or 3 yards outside his box there. He's pinging the ball out to the left wing to Gakpo. The ball's in the air a long time. Bednarek's got to challenge. You can't allow him to bring the ball down and attack you.
Ball goes out of play on that far side. A bit of a brief respite in the opening 4 minutes as it's a throw for Poland. Little flick on there, looking to Adam Buksa. The ball is back to Verbruggen comfortably by Van Dijk, who says, give it back to me. And Verbruggen obliges. Little skip there from Van Dijk before on the edge of his own penalty area. Plays it back to his goalkeeper, all in green. Once again, the whistles from the Polish support. Van Dijk passes the ball out, far side. Dumfries has really pushed on. He's actually almost playing as a right winger, the right back at the moment. Simons has actually gone into an inverted role. And De Vrij was the one who was playing as a right back. Here is Dumfries off the chest. Right corner of the area. Waits, delivers the cross. Gakpo, downward header. Depay couldn't get there. Reinders will keep it alive for the Dutch. Really strong start here by the Netherlands. Simons, and then cleared away by Bednarek. Swept to safety, but they're being pushed back firmly, Poland.
Yeah, they are. They're not quite sure whether to go and squeeze the ball, because the way that these Netherlands players are passing the ball at the moment, they look so confident, always trying to get in behind that back four.
Gakpo delivers the cross. Bednarek actually was able there to, in fact it was Kivior who got in behind. He's just hobbling a little bit there, is Jakub Kivior, but managed to get something on it. But I remember seeing Denzel Dumfries when he was at PSV. I think it was a Champions League game against Tottenham. The way he marauds down the right-hand side, got great energy, good distribution, but he is an attacking right back.
Endless energy, isn't it? Endless energy. And what they do is they adjust. If he goes bombing forward, then the left-hand side will just drop in to make sure that they're not left outnumbered when they are attacking.
If you're in orange and you're inside the Volkspark Stadion here in Hamburg, not only are you creating this wonderful atmosphere, but they're up and out of their seats and they're jumping up and down in unison. There is a real carnival atmosphere here inside the stadium. There was, of course, that incident ahead of the game, which was of a particular concern. You can see that on the BBC News website, where there was a shooting. There was an incident where police officers were threatened by a man wielding a pickaxe and an incendiary device, and therefore the police officers shot the individual, and he was injured obviously in the process, and there's been no further update from the German officials. If you want to read more, then the BBC Sport website will be carrying news of that. But apart from that isolated incident, I mean, even the Dutch support, the way that they marched en masse to the ground, they've always travelled in good numbers, and they are certainly enjoying themselves here in Hamburg. Although 7.5 minutes played 0-0, that was a rather ambitious effort from Bartosz Salomon. He was inside the centre circle and he didn't get any elevation, but that was certainly a goal-bound effort, I think, to try and catch Verbruggen out.
It was actually on target. He's 10 yards inside his own half, tried to chip the keeper. Keeper's only on his penalty spot.
Here is Depay playing the ball back, rolled out by Schouten. The Dutch work it to this near side, the left. This is Gakpo running at pace, enters the penalty area, and sliding in was Frankowski to get the block. Corner kick though to the Dutch, still 0-0, 8 minutes played, 5 live.
Yeah, I think Frankowski there he's been told by Bednarek to try and come in at sort of a right back for me. I'll go in one, so we've got a 5 at the back. I need a bit of help with Gakpo. He's getting the ball, he's taking me on, let's double up on him.
The Dutch have a corner kick near side the left. The anticipation building with a thunderous clapping by the Dutch support. In comes the corner on this near side, and it's headed away by Salomon. It'll be collected by Simons far side. He lets it run out of play. The Dutch have a throw over on the right, 6 yards up from the corner flag, all in navy blue with the orange trim, playing from right to left as we look. And in fact the throw is now going to be left to Denzel Dumfries, who will wander across towards that far side. 5 live and BBC Sounds here at the Euros on day 3. There's a low ball played in, and Reinders puts it wide, right-footed. Good move, didn't pick up the run at all.
No, very sharp throw-in, not waiting at all to take the throw-in. The first blue shirt that's free, it gets thrown in. Reinders just arriving on the penalty spot and just trying to steer it. It comes from the right-hand side of the pitch, it's on his right foot, and I think there may have been a bit of contact there from one of the Polish players, but again, another chance inside Poland's box.
Well, we're inside the 10th minute and the Netherlands could already be 2-0 up. If you think of the Gakpo chance saved by Chesney at his near post, and then Reinders just wide of that right-hand post as they attack towards the end to the left as we sit here in the main stand as the sun continues to shine. And Poland now play the ball forward. Buxa had support with Sebastian Szymanski. Buxa will go it alone. Shot charged down by Van Dijk. Needed to play it early, you feel?
Yeah, he did, but you know, Van Dijk always seems to be a step ahead of most forwards that he plays against. He sort of leads it. I don't think I've ever seen Van Dijk do a slide tackle. I just think he's always on his feet, always in control.
Well, it's his first Euros. He missed, of course, the one 3 years ago. I think it was Frankowski who played the ball forward as Van Dijk clears it away, clears it long, gathered in over on the far side by Kivior. Almost left it a little bit too late. In fact, he was almost caught out there by a sliding Simons who whips up the crowd. Believe me, they don't need much whipping up. 10 minutes, 0-0, 5 Live. Still to come, 5 o'clock from Stuttgart, Slovenia, Denmark, and in Gelsenkirchen, Serbia, England at 8. With John Murray, Matt Upson, Joe Hart and Izzy Christiansen. All the build-up from about 7 o'clock, live inside the stadium here on 5 Live. 0-0, what have you pointed out?
I'm just pointing out Bednarek there, he's shouting at Frankowski to get back, help me out. He wants some help, he's not comfortable one-on-one with Gakpo at all, and he's screaming at Frankowski. He's not listening to him at the moment.
Well, Bednarek was there to leap and head the ball out of play for a throw. Here is Schouten, fair-haired midfielder. Back to Ake, forward ball to Reinders. Reinders is challenged from behind by Frankowski. Van Dijk able to put his foot on the ball, very, very calm. Ake under no pressure. Ball played infield now by Veerman. And that was Depay with the turn. Cleared, though, forward by the Polish defence. And now it goes out to Simons, who just keeps dropping into an inverted roll or deep, and it allows Dumfries to keep getting forward. And as a result, he's taking Zalewski back with him. As now this is Ubanski for Poland, and Ubanski's done well. He feeds it, Buksa makes that run out towards the left-hand side. Now the white shirts of Poland can get forward. 12 minutes played, still goalless. Ubanski, opportunity maybe for chance to try and get something away with Sebastian Szymanski. They play it back and now across. Bednarek hits the forward ball. Ubanski has stayed forward, flag has stayed down. Ubanski in the penalty area, it's going to run through, and then the shot that came in from Sebastian Szymanski was charged down. Now the flag is raised. In fact, he was well offside in the end, was Kasper Ubanski.
Yeah, I'm thinking the flag maybe could have gone up. He was a couple of yards offside there. He could have just put his flag up and stopped the excitement, the false excitement. Good from Poland, though, good football. Trying to find those little pockets in between those defenders' spaces.
Actually, looking at it, Ubanski has stayed forward, and Sebastian Szymanski's playing more in a deeper role, more of a midfield role. So Buksa's getting support from the 19-year-old midfielder from Bologna, who had such an excellent season, finishing 5th in Serie A. That was a nice little turn, little bit of a pirouette there again from Memphis Depay. Simons running forward now. Simons with a shot, it's low. It was always going wide. Chesney all in yellow. He dived to his right, but I think he was quite happy with his angles that it was going to go off target and it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, I think he was just diving just to make sure that he had his angles absolutely spot on. Simons there just not even looking to try and find a pass, just sets his sights, corner, just on the corner of the D, didn't quite catch it, scuffs it.
Scored the first goal for the Dutch in that 4-0 warm-up win, the first goal in that 4-0 success, as the ball is hit long by Poland, headed away by Ake, picked up by Frankowski near side the right. Sebastian Szymanski now links up with Frankowski, and dropping onto the halfway line, just plays the ball short and in field. The Dutch, though, win it back. Zielinski's given the ball away, and the referee, Artur Dias from Portugal, shows a yellow card to Reinders for that challenge. And that will be the first yellow card of the game. Probably, if it was Reinders who was shown the yellow card, He's still having a little nibble at the referee. And there's going to be another yellow card here. Of course, the UEFA edict is only the captain can go towards the referee to voice their disapproval. But Artur Diaz has now shown a second yellow card, and that was to Veerman. So 2 yellow cards in the space of 30 seconds. Zielinski leaves it for Sebastian Szymanski. Long diagonal ball, headed into the penalty area, and it goes behind for a corner kick from Salomon's header. Corner kick to Poland, 0-0.
You know, that's not bad at all, you know, just a nice diagonal just to see how well this Netherlands side can defend, get it into those areas, move them about, force them to defend. They've got a corner now, Poland.
Zielinski's going to take it far side the left. At least 6 white shirts in the penalty area, and the header of the near post. Adam Buksa, and Poland take a surprise lead. Great header of the near post, and Adam Buksa gives Poland an advantage here to silence the Dutch support. 1-0.
What a header that is, by the way. Absolutely outstanding header. Buksa at the near post. I think he starts kind of centre of the goal, makes his way to the near post. I think he's at the far post. Comes to the near post. Oh, it's a lovely header. In-swinging ball. It's got pace on it, direction, power. He's above Dumfries, he's above Van Dijk. Get out of the way, I want it. Thank you very much. What a header.
Did ever so well. Nice curl, nice flight, perfect really for him to attack. And the Polish support now are out of their seats. The white and red scarves are being swirled around, and not many people predicted that, Dion.
Not the start, not to be scoring the first goal, but like I said, they're forcing that Netherlands back 4, back 5 to defend. How good are you at defending? Not very good that time. Game on.
So the Dutch have been left rocked by that goal for Poland, and all of those predictions that I've got to confess that I was saying that they were going to struggle in Group D. They have taken the lead. Let's get an update on the tennis. Paul Scott.
A first tour-level title for Jack Draper. On the week he becomes new British #1. He's come from a set down to beat grass court specialist Matteo Berrettini in 3 sets. 3-6, 7-6, 6-4 to lift the title in Stuttgart. Meanwhile, here in Nottingham, Emma Raducanu a set up in the semi-final against Katie Bolter. They're on serve, 3 games all, second set.
Thank you, Paul. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live. We're also on BBC Sounds. And indeed, don't forget for tonight with the Serbia-England game, if you say to most smart speakers, play Radio 5 Live, that gives you another option to listen to our coverage throughout the Euros. But Poland 1, Netherlands 0 is the scoreline here in Hamburg. Just to tidy up, we thought there'd been 2 yellow cards shown. Only Veerman was the player who was booked, not Reinders, who's on the ball now, as he runs forward. And Poland trying to get back. They've got something to protect. Gakpo, left corner of the area. The referee clearly was in the way there. He impeded Veerman. But the Dutch have still got the ball. Out to Dumfries on that far side, the right. Simons. How will the Dutch respond now as Simons rolls the ball forward on that far side? Dumfries in field. The ball chipped back towards Dumfries, who continues that run and wins a corner as the block came in from Zielinski. Corner kick to the Netherlands.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting now, the response. Are they going to continue to play most of their football down this left-hand side, or are they going to try and get the ball in the box? This time it's going to be an outswinger. Bit of quality. All the defenders are up now for the Netherlands.
Van Dijk forward, Gakpo, Ake. De Vrij is also in there. Dumfries too. Corner kick, outswinger right-hand side. Oh, what an effort that was from Van Dijk. Hit it on the volley, right-footed, down into the ground. Chesney with an excellent save.
It's a great volley, you know, really good volley. It's an outswinger, and for some reason, nobody heads it at its highest point, and it comes down sort of penalty spot area again, and it was Van Dijk with a volley on a full volley, didn't bounce, took his time, connected amazingly. Szczesny does well. It comes through bodies as well. Szczesny does really well.
The computer screen in front of us has now... I thought my eyes weren't deceiving me. It was right about the 2 yellow cards.
I thought you were right in the first in the first incident. She said 2 yellow cards.
Because Reinders was actually shown the yellow first.
For the tackle.
And then, so Reinders and Veerman, confirmation, both have been booked. And I'm not going mad. Although, give me time.
Well, I was just about to say.
1-0 to Poland. BBC Radio 5 Live. Ball in field. Schouten tries to win it. Opportunity to attack on that far side with Zalewski. Reinders in the midfield, turns away from the goal scorer Buxa, does well, plays it back. Ake, midway through his own half. Reinders wants it to feet. Ake puts his left foot on the ball, passes the ball infield. Veerman gives it back to the Manchester City defender. And the Dutch play the ball forward, headed away though by Salomon. A little layoff by Sebastian Szyminski. Finds Frankowski. And Frankowski back on the ball, the right wing back now to Bednarek as it starts to cloud over a bit. We had rain ahead of kickoff, wouldn't be surprised if we have another shower on the way. As Reinders passes the ball forward, Simons, it falls to Depay, hits it first time right-footed, couldn't keep it down, central area just inside the penalty area, goal kick to Poland who lead 1-0.
What a chance for Depay. Why he has to put so much power on it, I don't know. It's just bouncing on the edge of the box. He's 18 yards out, right in the middle of that 18-yard line. Just steer it home. You don't need to put your laces through it. Balloons it over the bar. That's a huge chance.
22 minutes played, and there have been no Spanish expressions that you've weaved into the commentary.
Not yet.
You were a bit of a rascal yesterday, didn't you? Teamed up with a digital team. Caught me a little bit unawares.
It was a challenge. They challenged me. They asked me to try and get 5, and I got 3 in yesterday. If you didn't get them, have a look back.
Yeah, no, it was a muy bien.
Muchas gracias.
De nada. Van Dijk has caught Buxa with a challenge, so there's just a stoppage in play. 1-0 to Poland, and you can hear the Polish voices here inside Hamburg, the third biggest European city. There's actually not a national capital. Population of 1.9 million, and Poland well represented. Schouten plays it forward out to the right hand side. Dumfries, his forward ball taken in by Simons, looks for Depay onto his right foot and across the face of goal, just too far ahead of Gakpo. Quick move though by the Dutch. They have created a number of chances in this first half.
Yeah, they have, and they've got numbers forward as well, all in support of Gakpo and Depay. They look very sharp when they get into those final areas. That chance there for Depay before Simon's chance was so good. Really have to take them though.
Poland with the slender advantage here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Over the head of Buxa. It'll run back for De Vrij. Passes it now to the edge of the centre circle in the Dutch half for Denzel Dumfries. Back to the Inter defender who won the title. Didn't play a minute at the World Cup in Qatar, but certainly a very experienced central defender. They do have an array of defensive options, do the Dutch. But it's a defence that has been breached by Poland. I suppose with the other game in Group D being played tomorrow night in Dusseldorf, Austria against France, it's a little bit too early to say that Poland are in pole position. No acknowledgement from you, Dion, there. I'll get my coat.
Taxi!
Back to Verbruggen. You'll be glad to see the back of me over these next few days. Here's Gakpo over the halfway line running forward. Poland quick to get those white shirts back. Gakpo short ball. Reinders bursting through from midfield. Looks to try and square it rather than going for goal. He looked towards Depay. Behind it goes for a corner kick.
A lot of pace to the attacks. The Netherlands, they very rarely attack very slowly. They don't really go through the thirds. They kind of miss out the middle third and get it to the top end of the pitch very, very quickly with all that pace that they've got as well.
The way that they're playing you can't help but feel it's a matter of time before they score. They are behind. 25 minutes played. Corner taken short, this near side the left. Veerman now delivers the ball. Downward header by Buxa. Unable to get that ball clear by Sebastian Szymanski. One back. Veerman gives it away. And now there's an opportunity for Poland to run clear. And running away with it on this near side is Zalewski. And he's made good ground. And then he blindly cuts the ball in from the right touchline. And there was Schouten back on defensive duties in his own penalty area. Depay holds it up, lays it out towards Reinders. Reinders now approaching the halfway line. Coming forward. Gakpo staying out wide on this near touchline. Now runs in field as Cody Gakpo. And then forced to retreat. Reinders along the ground. This is Schouten, Yuri Schouten. Simons, Dumfries, right-hand side. Simons waits, but in the minute playing in front of Poland. Veerman finds Reinders, dark-haired midfielder. Nutmegged Sebastian Szymanski, then said he was tripped, but the Portuguese referee is having none of that, and he just tells him to get back to his feet as Reinders holds his right foot.
That's great, isn't it? The referee just looking, seeing the challenge, 2 or 3 yards away, right on the spot, just using his fingers just to say, get yourself up, come on, nothing wrong with that.
I notice in the end away towards our right-hand side, there is now a visible presence of stewards in their luminous jackets. It was noticeable the way that they were intermingling the white and red and that of the Dutch of the Netherlands. But there is now a line of stewards making a demarcation line as Gakpo on this near side the left with the cross. Dumfries with a header, lacked the power. Oh, now was that a raised arm by Bednarek as it came back towards this near side? I thought there might have just been a chance of a penalty shout, but Gakpo did very well. It was Reinders as he was then snuffed out by Bednarek. The corner's been taken quickly on this near side the left. 27 minutes played. Depay curls the ball in. Good commanding header out by Bednarek. Simons heads it back, and on the edge of the centre circle, Yuri Schouten has to go all the way back to Verbruggen, the Dutch goalkeeper. 1-0 to Poland, 5 Live, BBC Sounds.
Could be a way in, I think, for the Netherlands. Set pieces, they are quite strong. The ball and the quality that's getting into Poland's box as well is very good.
On BBC Sounds, of course, you'll find the Football Daily podcast, which will always have the highlights, the analysis, the interviews. If you haven't yet heard the thoughts of either Gareth Southgate or Harry Kane ahead of that 8 o'clock kickoff tonight, then that's the place to do that, the Football Daily pod, as Gakpo on the left cuts inside and shoots, and right-footed off target for a goal kick. But it's not just the 5 Live Football Daily. There are other various podcasts that you can listen to, including the Match of the Day Top 10 with Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer, and a special Euro series. So that's the Match of the Day Top 10 podcast, if you so wish. But of course, coverage of all 51 games on 5 Live and BBC Sounds throughout this tournament. And here we are on the 3rd day, and it's the Dutch coming forward again with Gakpo. Short ball in field. Reinders leaves it for Veerman. Schouten, no width though at the moment. The reason being is that Dumfries is leading the line in the central area, but they looked to see where was the width on the right, and there was just a large expanse and not a navy blue shirt in sight.
No, not at all, because Cody Gakpo had made a run inside left.
They win the ball back. Gakpo shoots, sets his sights, takes a deflection, and the goal that was coming duly arrives. The deflection gave Chesney no chance, but the Dutch deserve that. They're back on level terms. The Netherlands won, Poland won.
Yeah, it's a great strike from Cody Gakpo. He's wanted to get into that space for a long time. Keeps cutting inside, off his left foot onto his right, coming infield. He gets himself into that position he wants to be in as well, 22 yards out. Strikes the ball, it's going down the heart of Szczesny's chest, but there's 2 white shirts throwing their bodies on the line. Took an unbelievable deflection. Szczesny's already dived before the ball's past him. No way could he do anything about it. You know what they say though, if you don't shoot, you don't score.
Well, he must have had, Gakpo, 3-4 opportunities where he's got it out for his feet and he's looked to shoot. He had the early shot that was saved by Szczesny. It struck Salomon, there was about 3 Polish players who tried to get the block in, came off the legs of Salomon and didn't give Chesney a chance whatsoever. But with 15 minutes to go to half-time, they deserve to be level at least.
Absolutely, 100%. I think that's why Bednarek wanted Frankowski to come in and help him out a little bit, because he's wanting to do it all the time. If Frankowski's outside him and Bednarek's on the inside, then he's coming into Bednarek.
Well, there was an orange flare that was let off in the bottom tier away towards our left-hand side. And the Dutch support are now standing up and cheering rather loudly with that equaliser. And they'll look to kick on, I'm sure. But 1-1. And here is Depay. Short forward ball, couldn't thread it through to Simons. Zielinski will turn for Poland. And he was fouled. And that will be a free kick to Poland in this opening game in Group D. 14 minutes to go to the break. 1-1.
I wonder what it's like playing a game of football with a headband on. I wonder if it feels different heading the ball. It's always got to hinder you if you're heading the ball and got a headband on.
In your long career, did you never wear a headband at any point, or a bandage?
No.
No?
Headbands for Saturday night. That's all.
This is Urbanski going the long way around. He finds Zielinski, curls the ball out to Zalewski. Zalewski enters the penalty area. His cross comes in now, headed away by Van Dijk, and the shot came in back into the midfield from Kivior. Forced a very good save actually by Verbruggen. Cross from the left once more. 2 wait. Buxa was one of them. Frankowski was the other. Break on now for the Dutch, led by Gakpo. He's got Depay going ahead of him, but Gakpo, the goal scorer, carries the ball forward, and in the end it was a good sliding challenge by Romanchuk. Got the ball, excellent bit of tracking back.
Romanchuk absolutely brilliant. He hasn't moved from that little Declan Rice role where he just sits in front of his defenders, and he's been doing it brilliantly. So anything that goes past him and his defenders and his midfield players, he just gets a toe in that time. Cody Gakpo was on the way, but it is beautifully timed tackle into his own defence. Brilliant, brilliant.
Thing is, I mean, there's still a long way to go, just under an hour of the game. But this is a scoreline that definitely still suits Poland. I know they've been pegged back. There might be that disappointment after taking the lead through that Buxa header. But if they were to be given the option of a point in this opening game against the Netherlands, I'm sure they would take it. Here is Frankowski, away from Gakpo, plays the ball forward. Urbanski has made the run ahead of him. He slides into it, tries to hook it towards Buxa, and then easily dealt with by De Vrij. And Gakpo, who, remember, scored 3 goals in 5 games at the World Cup in Qatar, has opened up his account. Probably the best Dutch player actually at the World Cup. And despite the deflection, it has been credited with a Gakpo equaliser after 29 minutes. For the first of 3 games today at the Euros here on 5 Live.
Yeah, shot was on target, so I'm not surprised at all. I think as comfortable as the Netherlands are in possession, I just think they need to keep their width a little bit more. They're coming forward and they're all down the heart of the pitch. If they keep their width, they're going to cause this Poland defence even more troubles.
Dumfries in field. Fairhead shouting inside the centre circle. Passes it to Van Dijk. Ake had gone into that inverted role from left back, as Veerman he holds his hands up. He tried to curl it out towards Dumfries on the far side, the right, in the shadows of the stand as the sun comes out. Brilliant sunshine once again in Hamburg, but he was a good 6 yards behind his intended target, and he accepted it was one of those.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you can't look at the pitch and say it was a bobble. Not nowadays. There's no bobbles on these pitches, I'm afraid. Ake.
Rob, our producer, has noticed that they have now taken away the yellow card of Reinders. So the confusion from earlier on continues as another twist in the saga. Poland trying to come forward on that far side, the left. Ball cleared away. And Poland get it back on that far side. Zalewski plays it short. Now in field to Sebastian Szymanski, let down by his first touch really, and Schouten, and looking to Simons, but won back by Zalewski. Forward ball, Polish support like that. This is Abanski. Abanski goes in field. Sebastian Szymanski tries to give it back. Schouten had tracked the run of Abanski and cut it away. The danger inside the penalty area, and Dumfries will win a throw for the Dutch over on that far side, the right. 10 minutes to go to half-time as Ronald Koeman tries to shield himself away from the blazing sun in his dugout down below. The fair-haired Ronald Koeman.
Szymanski there just dictating in that final third again. Little 10 roll, just bouncing it off his teammates, getting it again, just going across the pitch, keeping them all alive, trying to see if there's any gaps in that defence.
Depay chopped down. The referee is not going to show any action there. Depay is quickly back to his feet. Here is Ake for the Dutch. Gakpo challenged by Frankowski. Almost loses the ball to Frankowski. There's a good old tussle between the two.
And that's what Bednarek's wanting to happen. He wants to stay in the defensive positions and not leave his other two centre-halves on their own. So Frankowski's going to have to come back and do a little bit more work defensively. He's frustrated by you, though. I can see him shouting at Bednarek now. What do I do? I'm caught in between two decisions.
The two opposing players actually also had a little brief handshake to acknowledge their desire to win the ball with that tussle. 9 minutes to go to half-time, 1-1. Schouten's played the ball over the head of Ake, but Gakpo, ever alert, keeps the ball in play on this near side. Stroke back to Van Dijk. Ake now coming forward. Reinders is available. Plays it just to his left for Gakpo. Finds Reinders, controls the ball well, just above knee height with his right boot. Schouten now passes the ball out towards Dumfries. Reinders has continued to run. Here he is, right side of the penalty area. Schouten waits, currently unmarked. Just on the edge of the area, enters the box now, tees up Dumfries, rolls it in early, and then dealt with by Salomon. Out of play it goes for a throw. 1-1-5 live on BBC Sounds.
Yes, as much as Netherlands have looked really pretty on the ball, Poland have been so organised. Salomon in the heart of that defence, Kirill as well, not leaving his side. Bednarek, like I've been saying all game, trying to stay as a three, nice and solid.
Worth pointing out that Michal Probierz is still undefeated since taking charge in September as the national manager. Former under-21 coach, spent the majority of his playing and coaching career in Poland. Won 5 and drawn 3 of his 8 games. This, though, is going to be a tough test as he navigated his way through the playoffs to bring Poland here to Euro 2024 in Germany. And they're in no hurry to take the throw. With 7 minutes to go to half-time, deep inside their own half, over on that far side. Buxa tries to hold it up, goes to ground. Referee will give the free kick. Dutch aren't happy with that, but Buxa held on to it well, leading the line in the absence of Lewandowski.
Yeah, he's doing well as well. I mean, he's got some very, very good defenders to be taken on, but he's happy to put his body on the line. He's getting hit from all angles by Virgil van Dijk and Nathan Ake. But he's holding it up, he's getting his team up the pitch.
The thunderclap from the Polish support. How, in terms of a ratio, would you say is it sort of like 2/3 full towards the Dutch of the stadium as you look around, Dion?
Yeah, possibly, it's about right. There is a huge element of Polish fans to our far right and the Oranges to the far left, but more sprinklings of orange. I think you're absolutely spot on.
Frankowski's forward ball headed away. Another header from Van Dijk. And that will go straight into the midfield for Romanchuk, a Ukrainian-born defensive midfielder who made his debut in 2018, but this is only his 4th cap. He had to wait 6 years for his 2nd cap, which was actually against Wales in March, so he's had to bide his time as the 32-year-old. The ball is played forward to Abanski, drops deep on this occasion. And now Zelensky, just outside the centre circle, inside the Poland half. Salomon's forward ball, and Sebastian Szymanski tried to hit it first time, trying to whip it round the corner to Zalewski, and it came off at an awkward angle and went straight out for a throw.
Yeah, just got his timing wrong there. Szymanski just tried to leave it round the corner to his teammate, put too much on it. Bednarek
got there before Simons. Goes out for a throw. Let's get another update in the tennis. Paul Scott.
Yes, Emma Raducanu and Katie Bolter going the distance in the semi-finals here in Nottingham. Bolter has just won the second set, breaking Raducanu's serve twice to take it 6-3. The winner to face Karolina Pliskova in the final.
Not just the football, of course. We've got T20 World Cup action from 3:30 on Sports Extra, Pakistan against Ireland. And US Open Golf commentary on Sports Extra at 8 o'clock tonight for the final round with Ian Carter and the team. Slovenia-Denmark at 5 from Stuttgart. Serbia-England live in Gelsenkirchen from 8 are also on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds with 4 minutes to go to half-time. And Poland would be very, very content to go in at the break level as the Polish support continue to provide plenty of backing.
And you know what? With the ball at their feet, they've looked positive. Poland played some really good stuff as well. It's an evenly matched game, this one. It's good.
Here is Gakpo, turning away from Bednarek. Had a little nibble back at Gakpo, stepping out forward, or the referee's seen an infringement. And Romanchuk is pulled back, and instead it will be a free kick to the Netherlands, 10 yards inside the Poland half. That Ake will touch forward to Joey Veerman. Had an excellent season with the Dutch champions PSV. Here is Reinders, dark-haired midfielder. Lays it out towards Denzel Dumfries, back towards Reinders, turns, waits, decides to come forward. Veerman in field, Schouten, finds Simons. Simons just outside the area, left corner of the box. Gakpo couldn't get the cross in, blocked by Frankowski. Still away, snapping at the heels of Gakpo, gives him a little shove in the back as well, but the Dutch pass the ball back and then in field. And now Veerman to Reinders, turns, goes away from goal, edge of the box, back with Reinders once again. Schouten is available, plays it now towards Simons, pops up on the left side. Ake makes the run in towards the penalty area, and then it's spooned over by Gakpo. Excellent approach play by the Dutch, but another chance is squandered and it remains 1-1.
Yes, a really good move as well. Ake getting involved as well. It's an underlap, he goes inside Gakpo, I think it is, and I think he just puts it across the box, and it's an outside of the boot finish, which is the wrong kind of finish. Unlucky. Really good football. Another chance gone. Netherlands, 2 good chances now. Should have hit the target. Didn't with either.
I'm not too sure whether to trust this computer screen in front of us, but it says that the Dutch have had 3 attempts on target, 10 in total. I would agree with the 10 in total. I thought they've created a number of chances.
Yeah, they have. They've gotten behind a lot, but I'm not trusting that screen whatsoever. I'm happy for you to turn it off.
Ball is just casually kicked out by Verbruggen. Ake in field. The turn from Veerman back towards Van Dijk. Once again, De Vrij goes out wide on that right-hand side, almost the core of his own penalty area, because that allows then Dumfries to get forward as they look for the overload in the midfield. You've got Simons dropping in there as well. Schouten, Reinders. Gakpo provides the width on this near side, the left. Dumfries on that far side strokes it back. Schouten, though, they're missing Frankie Dion. Koopmeiners also picked up an injury, so they did have a double blow after naming their final squad of 26. In the space of, I think it was 24 hours, the 2 players dropped out. And De Jong has been so integral for the Dutch, and it's Jurdi Schouten who's trying to play that De Jong role. As Poland now with the captain Zielinski coming forward, Frankowski on the run on this near side, the right. 60 seconds remain of this first half. Live on BBC Radio 5 Live. Poland 1, the Netherlands 1. As Zielinski's forward ball goes away from its 2 targets, either Urbanski or Buxa, the goal scorer, and easily picked up by the Brighton & Hove Albion goalkeeper Bart Verbruggen.
I think Poland have been good, I really do. In possession, lots of movement, very aggressive as you would expect anyway. When they're out of possession, when they do get it, they try to get it forward quickly into the wide areas, isolate those fullbacks.
Dumfries launches the ball long, is looking for the run of Gakpo. That's a good little duel actually between Gakpo and Frankowski. Frankowski again back goal side, sense the danger.
It is as well, because he's getting his ear chewed off. from Bednarek. You go forward, but you've got to come back and help me out. I can't deal with his pace, and he's doing really well.
Bearing in mind he's just been on a forward run, you can see him breathing rather heavily.
Somebody could have filled in for him and helped him out a little bit.
Here is Reinders, shapes to shoot and does shoot, right-footed but wayward, off target. In fact, the way that Frankowski's recovering, that's a little bit like me after climbing those 5 flights of stairs.
Yeah, but at least he's still moving. He actually is still breathing.
There's going to be 1 minute of there was no lift from the bottom, so he had to climb the stairs, something that Dion's of course used to. And the additional 60 seconds that we're now into here, 1-1.
He never told me how close the toilet was. I went for miles in the concourse. It's a toilet just behind us.
You never asked.
You've been here before, you didn't tell me.
It's been a while since I was here. The Europa League final for Fulham against Atletico Madrid. When I was here in the World Cup, my memory's not as good as it used to be as old age kicks in. I think it was Ecuador against Costa Rica in the World Cup in 2006. Zizake looks for a diagonal ball. And Depay brings it down and gets the shot away, and it runs just agonisingly wide of the left-hand post. Another chance for the Dutch.
It's another really good chance. You know, Depay as well, just going out of the eye line of the defender. Salamoni gets on the outside of him. It's a diagonal. Chests it down. He does everything correct. Preparation's brilliant. The finish, connection, not very good.
Well, to credit Poland, they're in the game. They took the lead through a Buxa header as the half-time whistle has sounded. It was Zielinski's corner on the left. It was a good near-post header inside the 6-yard box after 16 minutes. But the majority of the chances have fallen to the Netherlands, and Ronald Koeman's, well, he'll be happy that they're going in level. They've got back on level terms, but really they should be ahead with the chances that they've created, Dion.
Yeah, really, they should be. Memphis Depay having another one there, so he's had a couple of chances. Gakpo's had a chance as well. Simons has been in there, so yeah, you know what, I think it's about right at half-time. I think Netherlands have probably played the prettier football, but I think Poland deserve to go in on as even, and they are well and truly still in this game, Poland.
They certainly are. So we've reached half-time here in Hamburg. It's Poland 1, the Netherlands 1. Steve.
Dion, I was just watching Adam Buxa, the Polish goalscorer, walking down the tunnel. Straight away, Robert Lewandowski over to him, hand on his shoulder, talking to him, speaking to him. I mean, you'd have been pleased with that header. It was perfectly pitched, wasn't it?
Oh, Steve, I love those ones. You haven't got to do anything. The corner was outstanding, Steve. It was bang on the level with the near post, and as a centre forward, if you get the run on the defender, as Mario will tell you, all you got to do is just get something on it. The header's amazing. It's a really difficult skill. I mean, I did it a few times, but it's a difficult skill, and he executed it amazingly.
Zielinski for Buxa, Jules. It was like Merson to Dion at Aston Villa.
Exactly, many times. This is a limited Poland side, let's be honest, and to be fair, they didn't do much either.
You were saying he's not even second choice, Buxa.
He's fourth choice,
right?
Because obviously Lewandowski, as we know, got injured. Sivdiaski, who was supposed to play, is also slightly injured. He's only on the bench today. And there was another striker even who could not make
Milik was injured.
Yeah, Milik, exactly. Milik, thank you, Dano, was injured too. So fourth choice, Buxa on loan in Turkey from Lens in France, because he never actually was that good when he was in Ligue 1. And yet, just this moment, incredible. And he has a good ratio with the national team. I think 7 goals in 14 caps, so not bad. But in a tournament, this is the first for him, and he took that header really, really well.
Mario Melchiot still with us as well. It's been the opposite for the Dutch, hasn't it? I mean, Poland, one big chance, clinical finish. Everything for the Netherlands up to the finish has been great.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, like, you know, when you play against a team that have nothing to lose, I think that's the way Poland is playing, because I even expect them to defend even more, but they didn't, because, you know, they try to press them as high as it. They don't want them to play from the goalkeeper, try to push him to a long ball, and they're really standing really firm. But then, of course, I heard Dion talking about the header, you know, with the corner. The way he cleans that, I'm not a fan of zone marking. That's just me, you know, like, because I always feel when you go zonal, you got to make sure that you have one guy that either attacks the ball. Van Dijk tried to attack the ball, he was late, and you had Dumfries in front of him, they didn't react. And yeah, okay, they already talked about it, Buxa. He just, the touch to the ball was enough to put everybody off, and even the goalkeeper couldn't react to it.
Jules, Netherlands might today be able to get away in the end with missing this number of chances. They won't probably in any other game at the Euros.
No, that's true. And when the opposition gets better and stronger, like we said in the build-up of the game, this obviously could be a problem. Memphis Depay, we talked about him, the two that he has, two off-target should have been better. Cody Gakpo, the last one, especially with the outside of his right boot, he has to take it inside of his left foot. This is the easiest, this is the most natural, the best way of taking it. He doesn't. Xavi Simons has been a bit too quiet for my liking. But apart from that, all the build-up, all the possession, all the movement has been really good at times from the Dutch.
Jules, Mario, thank you very much. We'll be back with Ian and Dion in Hamburg for second half commentary as well, of course. We will also take you off to Stuttgart shortly for the first time too. Remember, Slovenia versus Denmark is our next commentary once we're done with Poland against the Netherlands. We'll also get to the T20 cricket, the US Open final, and we'll talk a bit more about the big win for Britain's Jack Draper in the final of the Stuttgart Open. We'll do it all after the news with Carl Hartley.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Euros and the general election 2024.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. A man waving an axe around has been seriously injured after being shot by police in the German city of Hamburg. Media reports say it took place near a fan zone for supporters of the Dutch football team. Officials have not commented on what motivations they believe are behind the incident. BBC Sports' Gary Rose is in the city to cover the match and says security has been stepped up for the Euros.
There's been a big police presence throughout. The two teams came under police escort, which again you would imagine was planned. And yeah, there's been plenty of police presence in and around the stadium and in the city centre itself.
Dozens of countries attending this weekend's Ukraine Peace Summit have used the final statement to commit to its territorial integrity. With Russia not invited, the document also recognises that all parties are needed to end the war. Several countries that didn't sign the final communique, including India, South Africa and Saudi Arabia. Labour's Shadow Health Secretary says he wants his party's manifesto to be more ambitious on social care reform. Wes Streeting says if Labour wins the election, it would get the economy growing. Then there would be more money to invest in public services, including social care. He's been responding to research by the Nuffield Trust, saying the main UK parties needed to set out more credible plans for the NHS. The Israeli military has announced a daily tactical pause in part of southern Gaza to let in more aid. Operations are to be halted for an 11-hour window, but it won't apply to Rafah. Zayed Issa is from ActionAid.
It is one of the vital aid entry for Gaza. It will help some of the aid getting in. We're still getting confused pictures around what this tactical pauses mean, how it will enable aid not only to get inside the Gaza Strip, but to be distributed safely to the civilians that they need it.
And the original multicoloured dance floor where John Travolta danced to the Bee Gees in the 1970s film Saturday Night Fever has sold at auction for the equivalent of more than £250,000. The auctioneer said the dance floor had stolen the show.
Freedom, baby! Woo!
On BBC iPlayer.
For the past 3 years, all I've been doing is thinking about Linda and looking forward to holding her in my arms. I'm seeing someone else! Well, this is unexpected.
The Young Defenders. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Euro 2024 with Steve Crossman.
On 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
Welcome back to Berlin. We are live from the Brandenburg Gate. Euro 2024, very much up and running. Half-time in Hamburg, it's Poland 1, Netherlands 1. We'll be back there shortly for second half commentary. There's a great story going on in Stuttgart. Not Denmark versus Slovenia, which we will be bringing you from there in full, but a bit of British joy already today. Maybe it's a sign. Jack Draper, the new British number 1, has won his first tour-level title in Stuttgart, beating Matteo Berrettini. And Paul Scott, he did it from a set down, so he's really pulled it out today.
Yeah, you sense this could be a critical win, a breakthrough for 22-year-old Jack Draper. He has secured, as you say, his first ever tour-level title, coming from a set down to beat Matteo Berrettini. The Italian is a two-time champion on the German grass, so it was an impressive victory for the new British number one. Berrettini's also won at Queen's twice. He's a Wimbledon finalist, so he really does like the surface. Draper missed 6 months last year with shoulder problems. He's now playing regularly, getting matches under his belt, and he's beginning to reap the rewards as well. And he will be, as you say, the new British number one when the ATP rankings are released tomorrow. He'll be the youngest British number one since a certain Andy Murray.
So you're telling us about that, but you're actually in Nottingham. We've just seen Jack Draper go the distance. Bolter and Raducanu are doing the same.
Yeah, we could have a Brit, or we will have a Brit in the final. We don't know which one. It's turning into a bit of a battle of Britain out there on centre court here in Nottingham. Emma Raducanu, Katie Bolter, they're into a decisive third and final set. Raducanu just had to fend off 2 break points in her opening service game of set 3. They're on serve, 2-1 to Bolter in the third set at the moment. The winner will face former world number one Karolina Pliskova in the final.
Thank you, Paul. Other big tennis news today is that Raducanu has turned down the opportunity to play at the Olympic Games in Paris. Andy Murray will be representing Great Britain, though. He's confirmed for the singles event. The US Open final round is underway in the golf at the Pinehurst Resort. Bryson DeChambeau's got a 3-shot lead, so he's 7 under. Rory McIlroy is 3 shots behind him. Both of them tee off after 7 o'clock tonight, so there's going to be coverage from 7:30 on 5 Sports Extra. And you can get the live text coverage as well on the BBC Sport website, and that will get underway at 5 o'clock at the T20 Cricket World Cup. There's a dead rubber today in Group A. It's Pakistan against Ireland in Florida. Let's bring in Irish cricket expert Andrew Leonard. Nothing necessarily riding on it, Andrew, but I wouldn't be telling the Irish fans that.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, the great news is we're actually going to get cricket here after 3 washouts, consecutive washouts here at the Broward County Stadium in Florida. Whichever side wins today could finish third in Group A, but it's not going to be enough. That washout between Ireland and USA the other day meant USA have historically advanced to the Super 8 for the first time in their history. Looking forward to seeing more of them in the Caribbean, but maybe one last piece of joy for one of the 2 sides in green here today.
Thank you very much, Andrew. 5 Sports Extra coverage for that Test match special from 3:15. Let's talk to Ali Bruce Ball and Pat Nevin now. Slovenia versus Denmark. Our first trip, Ali, to Stuttgart at the Euros. How's it looking?
Yeah, it's looking mighty fine, Steve. I was just thinking on the way to the stadium, you know, we cover all sorts of European football on 5 Live, but Stuttgart, who are going to be in the Champions League next season, because the team finished second in the Bundesliga, haven't been for a while. So it's a stadium I've never been to, didn't come here during the World Cup in 2006. England played here in that tournament. David Beckham scored a goal against Ecuador that took them through in the last 16. A very famous Ray Houghton goal in this stadium for the Republic of Ireland at Euro 88. But it looks great. The sun is shining. It's got a sort of continental big tournament feel to it, like so many of them do, because it's been decked out in the Euro 2024 colours. Seats all red and white, which are the colours of Stuttgart, and a sort of big top feel to it. One of those stadiums, it's got a big white plastic roof surrounding it, and they look like sort of the individual panels look like sort of billowing sails above our heads. So it feels a little bit like you're in a giant marquee.
Red and white seats, Pat Nevin. Denmark will feel right at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's very colourful, like most of the sites we've been to have been already. Loads of fans outside, so it is going to be a blaze of colour here. But yeah, those red seats are going to help them look like a home game for the Danes. But both teams would be pretty excited about this. They played before quite recently, obviously, in qualifying. Danes won 2-1, and then a draw over in Slovenia and Ljubljana. So, you know, there's not a great deal between those two teams, and we're really keen to see how they look, and obviously what, you know, are they going to be too good for England? Are they not going to be good enough for England? Or are we not going to be able to tell of how they're going to be with England? But the one, I suppose the most exciting thing about this game, yeah, there's lots of good players playing, but you know, 2 strikers, Højlund, who we know, 21, up and coming, great young striker, and Šeško, as it's pronounced, 21 years of age, and serious up and coming star centre forward from Leipzig. And you know, a lot of people don't know as much about him, but I suspect that's not going to stay the same too long.
No, it won't stay the same beyond our build-up, I can promise you that. I wanted to ask both of you as well, actually, because so here in Berlin, it was the Croatian fan zone, the whole city basically yesterday, full of Croatian fans. Where Ian and Dion are, it's full of Dutch fans. I was hearing, Ali, that 50,000 Danes were planning to be in Germany, so are they the shirts that you're seeing around town or not?
It feels like that, Steve. So I've seen a few Slovenian shirts, Slovenian fans around, some of them in the reception at our hotel just before we left. But once we got on the tram and made our way to the stadium and actually popped into the centre of Stuttgart for a bit of lunch, it was the Danish shirts that dominated. One lovely scene, actually, Pat, that you spotted of an entire family in the Danish replica kits doing keepy-ups together, weren't they?
And they were good. And the mother by some distance was the best player. Now that shouldn't be any surprise whatsoever, but it is noticeable. And it's a bit like the Scotland fans in Munich. You see every Scotland fan because they're wearing a kilt and a Scotland strap, right? And that's the same with the Danes as well. They're all wearing bright red. Now it may well be the Danish top, it may well be a sort of Viking helmet with the horns. You tend to notice them. They stand out a wee bit. Slovenians slightly less so, but they'll be making plenty of noise here.
Lovely stuff, you two. Thank you very much. Ali Bruce Ball, Pat Nevin, they are in Stuttgart. We're bringing you full commentary of Slovenia versus Denmark at 5 o'clock. 8 o'clock, Serbia versus England. All of this in full, of course, with us here on 5 Live, and all of the best reaction as well on the Football Daily podcast. You'll get some of the things that have been on air on 5 Live Sports, some of the match reaction, but so much bespoke stuff as well in our kind of travel diary of Germany. Exactly what you were getting there from Pat Nevin and Ali Bruce Ball. All of the colour and the fun of Euro 2024 as well. Nearly ready to go in the second half of Poland and the Netherlands. They're level at 1-1. Julien Laurent has been watching with me here in the studio. We saw Robert Lewandowski doing a couple of kick-ups. Sorry, I just clicked at you there. It's like, come on, get your headset on.
I know. I was ready to watch the second half.
Do you think we'll see Lewandowski?
No, you can't take the risk. Right. Really, you saw his thigh with the big strapping on. Jacob Moder from Brighton, he's going to come on for Szymanski, who was really quiet in that first half. They need to be more with the ball, because it's one thing to have scored on a set piece, but overall it was not good enough with the ball. They had 33% of the possession. They defend deeper and deeper and deeper, and you would expect the Dutch to keep putting pressure on them. So trying to find something else. Moder can hold the ball well. I would expect him to play a bit closer to Buxa and have that kind of support to him, which is, I think, really good, but they need to find something else, otherwise it's tricky.
Poland will be happy with the point. I expect the Netherlands need to be more clinical. Ian.
Thank you, Steve. Yes, that change is a confirmation. Brighton's Jakob Moder coming on to replace Sebastian Szymanski. So these are a reminder of the two teams. Verbruggen in goal for the Dutch, Dumfries, De Vrij, Van Dijk and Ake the defence. Midfield three of Schouten, Reinders and Veerman. And then a front three of Simons, Depay and Cody Gakpo. We're back underway with the Dutch in their change strips, the all navy blue with the orange trim. They're playing from left to right as we look, as Poland in their white shirts and red shorts have Chesney in goal. Back three of Salomon, Bednarek and Kiwior. Frankowski and Zalewski are the wing backs, right and left respectively. Zielinski, Moder, Romanchuk, Urbanski and the goal scorer Buxa. Lewandowski is on the bench, but like Jules, I would be very, very surprised if he was to figure, bearing in mind he was such a doubt after that thigh injury that he picked up on Monday night against Turkey. Gakpo with the cross, deep, Dumfries downward header, Chesney gets a hand onto it to claw it away, and it was a telling touch. Schouten picks it back up right corner of the area, because otherwise Memphis Depay would have been in, and Chesney once again still making such a vital contribution in the Polish goal. The most capped goalkeeper for Poland. He's played in the last 3 Euros and 2 World Cups. He's going to be alert again as the move doesn't break down. Schouten though just couldn't get the shot away as Urbanski manages to nick it away right at the perfect time. But the Netherlands have quickly settled into a groove, and straight away Gakpo appears to be the go-to man at the moment. Left side, Ake with a cut back on the left-hand side and cleared by Moder, and out it goes for a throw. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, that's 3 entries already into the box. Poland's box there with just the blue shirts making the runs, but not quite getting on the end of the ball. Not on the same page at the moment, but Szczesny there, what a great little hand that was, by the way, bouncing in front of him, and he just palmed it away. And there was a Netherlands striker coming in, but he palmed it away to one of his own players as well. So invaluable to have that kind of experience and quality in goal.
Certainly is. I mean, Depay would have snaffled that one up inside the 6-yard box had it not been pushed away by that strong right arm of Chesney, as Simons makes the run, tries the little flick Gets it back as it didn't come off the first time. Reinders with his back to goal to Schouten, passes the ball forward. Gakpo once again skips away from one challenge but was caught and he's hobbling badly. Schouten now finds Simons just outside the area, flicks it back inside to Reinders, comes back to Simon. Poland trying to work hard. Shot comes in from Simons, that was blocked, and it was by Kivior. Goes back out to Gakpo, who's running a little bit more freely after that little knock earlier on. Passes the ball with pace. Reinders with a shot, blocked by Kivior once again, and Poland having to defend.
Yeah, they don't mind that at all. Poland having to defend in the shape that they've probably worked on all week. But yeah, every time a Netherlands player gets the ball, they're looking to Cody Gakpo. Get it to Gakpo every 5 minutes.
Here is Depay, shoots from distance, and he shoots right-footed from a good 40 yards out off target. The striker with not only the headband, but also a wristband on his left wrist. 3 minutes into the second half. Memphis Depay scored against Canada. It is one of the warm-up games. He's edging ever closer to that Van Persie record of 50 goals. He's 5 short at the moment, as tonight, or this afternoon, he's making his 93rd appearance for the national side. BBC Radio 5 Live, also on BBC Sounds, and the commentary is available through the iPlayer, because this game is live on BBC One, and whenever a BBC TV commentary with the Euros, you'll always have that option through the iPlayer, which has a Euros channel for highlights, interviews and Euros archive. If you haven't yet discovered that, then there's the option to watch and listen at the same time, as the Dutch are dominating. 4 minutes into the second half. 1-1 though is still the scoreline, live here in Hamburg. Depay loses the ball, and then the ball rolled away by Moda and cleared long, won back by De Vrij and closed down quickly by Urbanski, and it will go out for a Dutch throw.
Yeah, Romanchuk does a lovely job, he just sort of travels across his back four on their toes, just making sure nothing gets into the feet of Depay, breaking things up, stopping crosses. He's doing a really good job for his side.
Bearing in mind that they play Austria in the next game, which is next Friday. If they could collect something here today, Poland, going into Austria before they finish off on the 25th against France in the final group game, they would give themselves maybe a chance of edging their way into the to the knockout stages. Still a long way to go, and the chances that have been created, the Netherlands will still be thinking, we'll win this.
Yeah, there's a lot more chances in this game at the moment. It's so open, and Poland are sitting in at the moment, trying to absorb as much pressure as they possibly can, but you can only do that for so long, and when you do get the ball, you're going to have to keep it as well, and if you haven't got a talisman up front to hold the ball up, then you're going to be struggling to get out.
The only thing that none of the last 12 games in the Euros for the Dutch have actually ended in a draw. They've won 6, they've lost 6. The last draw was a quarter-final against Sweden 20 years ago, when the Euros were held in Portugal. Gakpo links up with Reinders, left-hand side of the penalty area. Reinders cuts into the box now, lifts the ball towards Dumfries, who slips and then creates a bit of a problem for Zalewski, who tumbles over him as the ball goes out of play for a goal kick, which Chesney looks to take. 6 minutes into the second half. There is activity on the bench down below. They've already made one change at half-time. And just trying to see who's going to be coming on. Won't be Lewandowski, but Swiderski is going to be one of the players. Schouten does well. Diagonal ball won't reach Dumfries. Zalewski running back, plays it to Chesney, tries to chip it out to this near side for Moda. The Brighton midfielder is then caught by Simons. He might then have actually accidentally caught Simons in the face. He's gone down holding his face, and in fact they're both on the ground at the moment, the two players, as the referee Artur Dias from Portugal strolls across just to have a watching brief. It was in the Adam's apple from a stray elbow from the Brighton player.
Yeah, it was in front of the dugouts as well, and the fourth official and both managers were in their technical areas, so everybody had their arms in the air. I think it was an accidental one. Moda just trying to get away from Simons and just really throwing those arms back, trying to get some space, caught him in the throat. It'll be a sore one, but he should be okay.
Well, he's stayed down as the 21-year-old who was loaned to Leipzig from PSV during the last season. They finished 4th in the Bundesliga, scored 10 goals. Quite slight, stands out not just because of his yellow boots but his braided hair, as Xavi Simons is going to come back onto the field of play. And whilst their activity on the bench, we've got Swiderski who's going to be coming on, and one of the other players is going to be Bartosz Ślisz, who's a midfielder. He's a defensive midfielder, played in America for Atlanta, so he's going to be coming on as well. A double change being made by Michał Probierz, the Polish coach. Final instructions being given out. Simons, incidentally, is back on the field of play. 5 Live. 22 degrees, it says on the electronic scoreboard at 4:10 this afternoon. The ball is played forward. Rare attack now here, drilled in low from the right-hand side, looking towards Buxa over on that far side. Depay. Reinders plays it early, tries to release Gakpo. Gakpo's onto it. The Polish defence has to retreat. Simons offers the support and flashes it wide inside the penalty area, right-footed. Lovely weighted pass from Reinders to release Gakpo. But again, they couldn't find that cutting edge in front of goal.
No, and I think it's, you know what, it is a good ball as well for Gakpo. It's in front of him as well. I'm expecting Gakpo to get the ball out of his feet and take on the big man, Salomon. He can do it for pace, but he didn't. Looks for his teammate, and again another chance goes begging for the Netherlands.
Urbanski is the player who's come off for Swiderski, who was a doubt ahead of the game. He scored against Turkey in their last warm-up game, but injured himself with his goal celebration. And then the other player who's going to be coming off for Bartosz Ślisz to come on is Taras Romanchuk. So like for like, really, with a defensive midfielder for a defensive midfielder. So Bartosz Ślisz comes on for Poland. So they've made 3 changes now, as they still holding the Netherlands here in this opening game in Group D. Austria-France is tomorrow night in Dusseldorf. We've still got Slovenia-Denmark with Alistair Bruce Ball and Pat Nevin live from Stuttgart at 5. Serbia and England, Kelly Kate presenting from inside the stadium, all the build-up from 7. For that 8 o'clock kickoff, joined by John Murray, Matt Upson, Joe Hart and Izzy Christiansen. And then, of course, you can have your say as well after the game, 6:06 from 10:30 on BBC Radio 5 Live. The Netherlands have a throw on the right-hand side, being frustrated by Poland. 10 minutes into the second half, they've dominated with possession, 64%. They've had a number of chances that they've been unable to convert. Swiderski loses out, ball played forward, but he recovers well to get another ball forward to Swiderski. But there was Van Dijk just to mop it up on the halfway line, and the Dutch once again have the ball in their possession.
Yeah, there's been a couple of occasions where Szczesny has had the ball played to him by his defence or by his teammates. He needs to just clear his lines. He's trying to keep the ball. He's been giving away throw-ins in his own half, and therefore Poland can't even get out of their own half at this present time, or for the whole of the start of the second half they've not been out of their own half. Get your team up the pitch, give your defenders a breather.
Depay plays it back in midfield. Reinders, who's been busy, has caught the eye with his movement. There's Reinders, he's making a run now to the edge of the area. He's always wanting the ball. Here he is, plays it back now towards Simons. That was quick and sharp by the Dutch, and then it's swept away by Szczesny. Tijani Reinders plays for Milan, joined from AZ Alkmaar back in the summer. As Dumfries has given away a foul against Zalewski on this near side. And bearing in mind they're creating next to nothing in open play, they scored from a set piece. This free kick now, not quite level with the penalty area on the left-hand side, but it does give them an opportunity to send the big men forward from the back and see if they can strike again with a set piece.
Absolutely. Zalewski doing great there, really taking the pressure off his side, just flying down the left-hand side, not really going anywhere, but just getting the ball away from his own box. This could be really dangerous. He's got to be a really fast in-swinger here.
Zielinski will be playing his football for Inter next season. Curls it in, headed out by Reinders. So they will be locking horns once again in the Milan derby in San Siro. Zalewski finds Zielinski, leaving Napoli after 8 years. Did ever so well when they won the title the season before last. As Zalewski with the cross, and totally unmarked on that far side was Kivior, kept alive here by Buxa. Edge of the area now for Zielinski to have the shot, and it was straight at Verbruggen, who did well to keep out the initial effort.
Yeah, he did well. Verbruggen there, really well, kept his eye on the ball. There was a lot of bodies in front of him as well. Palms it away to the left this time, far post, gets it out of the way, gets it out of the danger zone. Second shot's right down his throat. Good play from Poland though, kept it alive.
I think Kivior's effort took a slight deflection on its way through.
Yes.
But other than the goal, that they took the lead after 16 minutes, haven't really given too much concern to Verbruggen, as Salomon went sliding in and took out Simons. He's onto his feet. All of a sudden Poland are just showing signs of a little bit more adventure.
Yeah, they're coming out of their positions and out of their pockets now just to try and squeeze a little bit, try and get the ball up and out of their half, play some football in Netherlands half of the pitch, and it's working for them as well.
Well, the Dutch have won their opening fixture in 6 of the last 7 major tournaments, but Poland at the minute are coming forward again. Zielinski enters the penalty area. That was excellent play by Simons. He's got back and he's got a good block sliding challenge in on Zielinski as the ball bounds its way into the banks of the orange support behind that goal, as Poland in their white shirts and red shorts attack from right to left. We've been playing for nearly an hour here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Poland 1, the Netherlands 1. Poland, though, got a corner kick. They scored, remember, in the first half from a corner. Zielinski to take it. They tried to repeat it. This time it was aimed towards Bednarek, the Southampton defender. Zielinski loses out to Simons, who hooks it clear, but because every Dutch shirt was back, Zalewski will have all the time in the world in the sunshine here in Hamburg to trot his way back towards the halfway line. And now he looks to link up with Zielinski. Zielinski plays it to Moda, coming forward, looks for a diagonal ball. Buxa off the chest. Ake, good covering. Left back pops up in a central area, deals with the danger effectively.
See, that's great defending from Ake, really.
Giving the ball away cheaply, though, have the Dutch once more. This is Swiderski. Swiderski with the cross. Van Dijk just twists his hips to head the ball away. But this is a good spell for Poland, and their supporters realise it as well, with a thunderclap inside the Volkspark Stadion. Swiderski gets round the back, delivers the cross, comes to Zalewski, lets it settle and shoots, but he's hammered that right-footed and he's skied it, and it almost reached the second tier of the Dutch support behind the goal. 1-1.
Yes, it's an awful strike. Zalewski on the far post, it beats everybody. He comes to him and he just, again, another strike that was too much power on it, no control whatsoever. But Poland now have changed the way they're starting sort of press area. They're not sitting back, they're coming forward trying to, on a half press. The referee wants to stop the game. Couple of changes.
We're going to be seeing Gini Wijnaldum, who's going to be coming on, and we're also going to see Daniel Malen, of course plays his football in Germany for Dortmund, and it's going to be Veerman and Simons who are the 2 players who are going to be coming off. So Malen, who scored in that 4-0 success against Iceland, comes on for Simons, and the Dutch making a double change. And Wijnaldum, who of course now plays out in Saudi Arabia for El Attifaq, but Poland again have picked it up. Zielinski, confidence is high, and the cross was played in, who were unable to get on the end of that, but certainly the substitutions from their coach Probierz have pepped up Poland.
Yeah, they look so much sharper now. I mean, sloppy play from Virgil van Dijk. He was allowed to come out of his box, and they gave him lots of space to play the pass, but he tried to play a short one, got cut out. Poland are buoyed by the substitutes.
We're seeing good spell of the ball at this stage, still 1-1, and plenty of vocal support being generated inside the stadium here in Hamburg. Diagonal ball from Zalewski, looking there for the run forward of Kiwior, of all people, who was popping up. And the Dutch, well, all of a sudden, when you think that we're in the 63rd minute, and they created an abundance of chances in the first half, haven't created as many so far. What are we, 18 minutes into the second period?
I still think there's a lot of chances to come in this game, but you can't keep giving chances away. You're working so hard to get them. The Netherlands are working so hard to get these chances, and they must have missed 4 or 5 good chances, and sometimes they can come and bite you in the backside if you don't take them.
That's Dion Dublin, who's with us here on BBC Radio 5 Live. The Dutch at a walking pace take the free kick. Reinders rolls it out to Dumfries on this near side. Poland have got everybody back behind the ball. The whistles once more from the Polish support as the Dutch patiently advance forward. The Dutch support now respond as well with cheers. Great atmosphere here inside the stadium in Hamburg on 5 Live. Reinders, edge of the area, looks for a shooting opportunity, finds it at pace. Malen skips away from one challenge. Dumfries inside the penalty area, and across the face of goal it goes once more. Out for a goal kick.
Good play with a lot of noise as well from both sets of fans. The crescendo wasn't that good, it was a strike. Dumfries, he went across Szczesny's goal. They worked it well, Netherlands really well, but it's a shot that was always going wide.
I'm just wondering, with 25 minutes remaining, whether the Dutch need to einen Zahn Zuligan, get a shift on.
Get a shift, very good, mate, well done. Of all the words you could have learned, get a shift on.
Time is just slowly but surely ticking away. A reminder, by the way, that 5 Live Breakfast will be analysing and reflecting on day 3, as well as looking ahead to tomorrow's games. Romania, Ukraine, Belgium, Slovakia and Austria, France. But of course paying attention to Serbia, England tonight in Gelsenkirchen with Rick and Rachel in the morning from 6 till 9 on 5 Live. As Reinders tries to link up with Depay, cut out and out of play, goes for a throw. Rick, who's based at a campsite near Essen with 300 England fans. He'll be the one who's easy to spot. He'll be glamping with his bulldog underpants as he makes his way through the campsite. Here is Depay looking to try and turn, and Zelensky now can bring it maybe clear for Poland. 66 minutes played, still 1-1. Even when they went behind, the way that the Dutch were playing, you thought they're going to win this. It's intriguing now, this game, because Poland are resilient. They've come forward, they've seen a little bit more of the ball. It's making for an interesting final third. No,
I completely agree. It's now down to the Netherlands to get onto the ball and keep creating chances, but you're going to have to take 1 or 2. Poland have to stay resilient and stay in that shape and keep concentrating, working hard. They're just playing off the break now, Poland.
Ake with a throw, gets it back, the Manchester City player. Finds Van Dijk on the halfway line. Plays it to the other side of the centre circle for De Vrij. Malen, the substitute, will knock it back to the central defender. We're approaching the midway point of the second half on BBC Radio 5 Live. And still 1-1. The 2 sets of supporters are jousting with each other. As here is Ake. Out to Gakpo, provides the width, lifts it forward. Salomon on the volley will clear for Poland. Zelensky, that was a nice little flick. And all of a sudden Frankowski can come running forward, slides it looking for the run of Swiderski. Swiderski now has Buxa in support. Swiderski to the edge of the area, and he didn't find Buxa. and in the end, De Vrij dealt with it.
Yeah, the blue shirts got back very, very quickly. Outnumbered those two centre forwards, trying to create something between them. It just wasn't happening. They gave it a good go, but it was all put out by good hard work, getting back in straight lines by those Netherlands defenders. But that's how Poland will get this game won if they want to win this game. And they'll love to win this. What a result that would be, by the way. On the break is the way to get their goal.
Well, they actually haven't beaten the Dutch since 1979, as Malen goes on the outside of Zalewski, but he was helped out by Moder. Certainly the introduction of Moder, Swiderski, fresh energy, fresh legs for the Polish side as they throw for the Dutch. Dumfries on this near side. They're playing from left to right as we look. Malen rolls it, Reinders passes the ball forward, shouting inside the penalty area. Depay slipped inside the box and it went and skidded off target, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. So Poland are actually winless in their last 12 meetings. They've drawn 5, they've lost 7. It's the Netherlands' longest unbeaten streak against any opponent. But you've got to say that Ronald Koeman and many people would have expected the Dutch, and they may still yet open up with 3 points, but wouldn't have expected this scoreline, I don't think, at 1-1 with just over 20 minutes remaining.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But listen, you've got to tip your hat to the Poles there, being incredibly hard to play against, and every single one of those players in a white shirt's really putting a shift in today, covering all the grass, making it really difficult for the Netherlands. They've got the better quality, Netherlands, but they just can't seem to break down, because what it is, they won't just cross the ball, they want to make and score the perfect goal through the centre of the pitch. They're not going to just wing it in willy-nilly.
This is Van Dijk, sprays the ball forward, brought under control ever so well by Malen. Now darts inside in towards the penalty area. Depay takes over. Dumfries also there, blocked by the legs of Chesney. Came quickly off his goal line, the angle was tight, and that will be a foul by Depay on Zalewski, and it will be a free kick to Poland.
Yeah, all high fives as well there. Those Polish defenders. Szczesny's now got his arm up as if to say, don't take the free kick, I will take it. Slow it down a little bit. Take the wind out of the sails of the Netherlands forward attack at the moment.
Julien Laurent, pre-match, did say when he was talking with Steve, you know, this was pre-match, that he said, we'll see what this Dutch side under Koeman is all about when it gets tough. I think probably he was referring more towards the knockout stages, but this now is becoming a potential problem.
It's been a tough game for them. It really has been a tough game for them. They do play some lovely football. They've got some incredible footballers and lots of talent, but Poland have not been sucked in by that at all. They've not been embarrassed at all.
They could have been out of sight at half-time, but they've been wasteful in front of goal. 1-1. 19 minutes remaining. Here is Malen on this near side. Polish defence just drop off. De Vrij plays it forward. Dumfries, Malen able to turn, looks for Dumfries. Zalewski's gone back with him. Dumfries stands over the cross from the right. Gakpo with a downward header. Salomon manages to dig it out with his head. Really put his back into that one. Reinders, left corner of the penalty area. Gakpo, not much movement though for Gakpo. Ake, Reinders. The white shirts are back though, as Reinders scoops it high, brought under control by Malen, edge of the area, plays the ball back in, headed away by Bednarek. Swiderski heads it back, but his header will go straight towards Dumfries, who now is able to turn the way that the Dutch are playing. 18 minutes remain, 1-1. Bearing in mind that they've got France in this group, and the Dutch struggle against the French. They've lost 7 of their last 8. And of course 2 of them were in qualifying for this tournament. So this would be a bit of a setback for the Netherlands if they were not to win. A lot of disappointment for their army of support that have packed out this stadium. There's Verbruggen, the Dutch goalkeeper, not in too much of a hurry, still quite calm on the ball, and gently plays it forward. Reinders now out towards Ake far side. Ake midway through the Poland half. Still 1-1 on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. The England game live at 8 o'clock as our third and final commentary on day 3 here at the Euros. As Reinders, Dumfries in a central area. Malen is ahead of him, right corner of the box. Tries to shimmy one way and then the next, but Zalewski wasn't buying any of it, and he just stood in front of him, and as he cannoned the ball off his shins, it goes behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, Zalewski doing well there, not really buying all the shimmying and the shaking and the foot movement. Stop the cross going in the box, that's his job.
Netherlands have a corner kick right hand side. Depay to take it, it's an outswinger, and the header from De Vrij, who'd got forward, was probably 6-7 inches over the top of the crossbar, and it's gone off target. Goal kick 1-1.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good corner, but I don't know why there's no Poland players there trying to clear that. 8 yards out, free header, have to hit the target. Another chance goes. How many is that? We got any more paper left and pen? Any ink?
His last goal, and he's only scored 3 in 64 previous appearances. The 32-year-old central defender was actually 9 years ago against Spain. But there's going to be another substitution, I think, for Poland, because a slip of paper has been handed to one of the officials down below, who is poised with his electronic board. So Poland are looking to make yet another change. 1-1, 16 minutes remaining. And the player who is going to be coming on is Petrovski, who is a midfielder for the Bulgarian champions Ludogorets. As the ball out towards Zalewski, and Poland have got ideas of maybe winning this. Zalewski looks for the run of Moda. Moda with the cross. Ake heads it away. Needed to get that header away because Buxa was lurking behind him. 1-1. Poland still attacking. Moda swings over the cross, and it's caught by Verbruggen, and it was a comfortable take as both Swiderski and Buxa were making runs towards him.
I think it was actually Buxa that started the move off with a great crossfield ball. I have to see it again. It's a lovely, it's the pass of the tournament so far, and then Buxa makes his way into the box. The cross is beautiful, but he stays behind his man at the far post. If he just gambles to get across his man, he's got a header from 4 yards. He would have started it and finished it.
So this will be the 4th substitution for Poland, but because they brought Moda on at half-time, they would still have one more opportunity to bring on their 5th and final substitute if Michal Probierz wanted to do that. But Petrovski is ready to make his 7th appearance for Poland. The supporters are hoping they can pick up a precious point. 1-1 with 14 minutes remaining. The Dutch remaining patient. Ake, far side the left towards Gakpo, quickly closed down by Frankowski. Hasn't given him hardly as much room. I mean, it was a good old battle in the first half, but Gakpo hasn't been able to get shots away on target as he did in the first half, and the Dutch support have gone a little bit quiet inside this stadium.
Yeah, they have. I mean, they haven't really... I mean, Gakpo for the last 5-8 minutes has not had the ball at all. He's not had it in the area he wants to be in as well. Ake's been overlapping. He hasn't been getting the ball. They've been playing all their football through the heart of this pitch, trying to find those intricate 1-2s and triangles, but it's not working for them at the moment.
It's the Polish support that are making the noise here. 1-1, and there are 14 minutes left. Petrovski still waits to come on. Malen on this near side. Schouten back to De Vrij, right side of the centre circle, passes the ball back to the fair-haired Schouten, who then passes the ball forward on the right-hand side. Nobody made the run, not Dumfries, not Malen, and Zalewski was quite happy to see that go out for a goal kick, as now, after waiting for at least a couple of minutes, it's Jakub Petrovski who's going to be coming on, and the player who's going to be coming off is the captain, Piotr Zielinski, with here all of his experience after completing his 91st appearance for his country, and therefore the captain's armband is now handed to Wojciech Szczesny, as Petrovski will come on. goal-scoring midfielder, quite tall, where he plays his football in Bulgaria. And Zelensky is embraced by his manager as a orange smoke bomb has been let off in the corner of the... There's a sprinkling of orange in amongst the Polish support. I would think that's not necessarily the wisest thing to do.
All I can see is red and white shirts, and I can just see this little puff of orange in the heart of it.
Chesney clears it long downfield. Just over 12 minutes remaining. Buxa couldn't get there. De Vrij beat him to the challenge. The Dutch are also going to be making changes. Wout Weghorst, I can see. The lumbering presence of the Hoffenheim forward, on loan, of course, from Burnley. Did score in both the warm-up games. Remember his 2 goals against Argentina in the World Cup as well. So Wout Weghorst is going to be coming on as Ronald Koeman looks to try. They've just run out of ideas a little bit, haven't they? Frimpong is the other player who's going to be coming on too. What an excellent season he's had. The Bayer Leverkusen defender. So Jeremy Frimpong is going to be coming on. Weghorst is going to be coming on. But before that can happen, they're going to have to do some defending, because Poland at 1-1 have got themselves a corner kick.
I'd want to do this as soon as possible, get Weghorst on to defend the corner.
Will the corner kick take place before the double substitution? Polish voices once again echo around the Volkspark Stadion. 11 minutes remain. Swiderski to take the corner kick, left-hand side. This will be an outswinger. In it comes now. Brushes over the head of Moda. Looking to try and retrieve it far side the right is Kiwior, the Arsenal defender. Plays the ball back to Frankowski. Frankowski delivers the cross. Bednarek was leaping. I think there was a trailing arm as well. He was almost trying to do the hand of God, as it was gathered in by Verbruggen. Once again, assured handling by the Brighton goalkeeper, as we check in on the tennis with Paul Scott.
Katie Boulter's love affair with Nottingham continues. She has come through the Battle of the Brits in 3 hours and 13 minutes, the longest match of the week. The defending champion through to the final for a second straight year. She's beaten fellow Brit Emma Raducanu 6-4 in the third. Next up for Boulter, the 2016 champion Karolina Pliskova.
Thank you, Paul. Next up for us with the Euros is in Stuttgart, Slovenia, Denmark from 5, Serbia, England at 8. As Frimpong is going to be coming on, and Wout Weghorst is the other player to be coming on. Memphis Depay and Cody Gakpo are the 2 players who are taking out. So Weghorst for Depay, and Frimpong will play on that left-hand side, or they'll play on the right, and Malen in fact has switched to the left. That Gakpo has been taken out. And the Dutch just faltering a little bit here with 9 minutes remaining, 1-1. This would be a surprising scoreline if it stayed like this.
Yeah, it would be, but I think to get Weghorst on as well is a great idea. You've now got the other option, which is not just to go through the heart of the pitch, is to get it wide and get crosses in and give the big man a chance to get on the end of it.
Frimpong looks to try and shift it away from Zalewski, but he runs out of playing surface. He's gone behind for a goal kick. I mean, he had a wonderful season with Leverkusen in terms of goals and assists. The former Manchester City and Celtic player, 14 goals he scored in 49 appearances as they won the title. But despite favouring more of an attacking formation for Ronald Koeman with his 4-3-3, the chances that they've squandered could come back to haunt them.
Yeah, I think they've just tried to be a little bit too intricate in the final third. First half, they went longer a little bit, more in behind the fullbacks, just to widen the pitch a little.
Kiwior hasn't cut it out, and Frimpong was almost on it, but Chesney was never rattled. He'd sensed it, and before Frimpong could even try and nick it away from him, it was gathered in safely by the veteran goalkeeper.
Chesney knew what was going on there. He was edging out of his box. He knew that pass was coming, so he was on the front foot. He cut it out. Danger solved by the keeper.
8 minutes remain. Still 1-1 on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Malin on that left-hand side now. Holds on to the ball. Challenge comes in from Swiderski. Prevents the quick free kick from being taken. Malin, though, knocks it back towards Van Dijk. Shouting now inside the centre circle. Dumfries on this near side. Frimpong provides the width on the right. Instead, they go back centrally to De Vrij. Reinders is available. Poland, though, proving to be problematic. Here is Ake, threads it through. Weghorst! That might well be the first touch for Val Weghorst, and the substitute with the impact. With a possibly winning goal 7 minutes from time. Hits it first time, so alert to latch onto it, and the Dutch are ahead by 2 goals to 1.
Nathan Ake, absolutely outstanding. Well done, sir. He attacked the edge of the box. He wasn't closed down. Weghorst just left that space in front of him. Ake took it. Yes, please, I'll drop it in there for you. On his left foot, squeezes it in the near post, gets across his man. He's just an out-and-out centre-forward that makes the right runs at the right time. On the spot, yes, again, well done, sir. Starts behind his defender, gets in front, bam, goal.
Hit it first time, left-footed, as another orange smoke bomb has been let off in amongst the Polish support from that smattering of Dutch support. But as I look away where the banks of the orange shirts are, in the 2 tiers away towards our left-hand side, the Dutch flags are flying. And when we were maybe wondering, would their patience pay off, Wout Weghorst, and I don't think he has touched the ball before that.
No, I don't think he has.
Lashed it in, left-footed.
It's a really good strike as well, you know, because he goes away from the ball because he's expecting Nathan Ake to pop it out wide to one of his teammates. He doesn't, he keeps coming, so he has to get closer to his defender. He can see the number of his defender. Salomon, bit square on, gets past him, Bosch. Really good strike, great timing of the run.
And that's probably one of the journalists would say to Ronald Koeman, an inspired substitution.
Yes, exactly, well done. He knows what he's doing. What a manager.
Poland are going to make a change. They're not able to. They're going to make a double change. They're not allowed to make a double change. They've already.
Yeah, just realising that now.
So instead, it's just going to be. They've changed it around, and we were at one stage. Bartosz Bereszyński thought he was going to be coming on, but instead they've changed it, and there's going to be the other substitution just getting his final instructions. I'm just wondering if Salomon is unable to continue. He went down in his desperate attempt to stop Weghorst, whether he's picked up a knock. So maybe that was what they were thinking, that Bereszyński was going to come on to replace him, but he's going to be okay to continue, or maybe he's not. Bereszyński now runs to his manager, so you've got 2 players waiting to come on, but only one of them can be utilised because they've already made 4 substitutions. And in fact, it will be Bereszyński after all. So all of a sudden, the disappointment falls to Krzysztof Piątek, who will be unable to come on to the field of play. But the Dutch are dancing in the stands in Hamburg, because they lead by 2 goals to 1 with 4 minutes remaining here on 5 Live, and Salomon was unable to continue after all. So Bereszyński, the defender, it is like for like, it is an enforced change, just when maybe they were thinking to try and bring on Piątek to try and get and salvage something quite late on. They have got a throw on this near side, the left. And in fact, the Dutch are also going to be making a change, and Mickey van der Ven is the player who's going to be coming on, the Tottenham defender, and the player who's going to be coming off is Nathan Ake. So van der Ven is on for just his 5th appearance, and Ake is substituted. The Netherlands lead Poland by 2 goals to 1, live here on 5 Live. Zalewski waits to take the throw for Poland on this near side, the left. It's a long, looping throw. Buxa couldn't get the flick on, and it bounces into the grateful arms of Bart Verbruggen.
What a game this has been. Really enjoyed this today. Really good game. 2 different styles. Netherlands trying to play all that beautiful football. Hasn't worked for them. The big man comes on, they get the lead again.
Wout Weghorst. 12 goals now in his 34th appearance. Frimpong, that was a nice first touch to bring it out of the air on the right-hand side. Diminutive, energetic, tricky. Got a push in the back. The referee, though, tells him to get up. Ball cleared by Bednarek, looks towards Swiderski. Headed away then by Van Dijk. They tried to play the ball forward early by Moda. Cut out by Dumfries. They look for the pace of Frimpong once again. And he shoves Kivior off the ball, but the referee has said that was a foul. And as the ball is put into the back of the net, the referee's whistle had already been blown. And it will be a free kick.
Yeah, I think it was Moda on Weghorst. Referee seen it, didn't like it. Yeah, a little bit of afters.
Well, the cloud bubbling up once again above the stadium here in Hamburg. But for Ronald Koeman, pivotal player and that member of the great triumph in the 1988 Euros. Now in his second spell, it's going to be a winning start, it would seem, for the Dutch, leading Poland by 2-1. Back it goes to Verbruggen. 90 seconds remain of normal time. Now I think there would be at least 4-5 minutes of stoppage time with the substitutions that have been made. Zalewski, Pietrowski tries to come forward. Pietrowski in towards Swiderski. Good save by Verbruggen. Fantastic reflex save by Verbruggen, because it was a strong run in towards the penalty area and Swiderski stabbed it goalwards and Verbruggen made the save with his right hand.
It's a really good save. It's a really good save. I think his weight's on the wrong foot as well, but somehow he just forces his way back to the near post just to steer it round the corner.
They haven't created too many chances, but the chances that they have created, they have tested Verbruggen, and of course the Buxa header does make you wonder if they'd have, well, I suppose they couldn't go and show too much ambition because the danger is that have been picked off by the Dutch. But they have played with a bit of a spirit in this second half. There've been no pushovers. I think that is a definite thing to say about Poland. Poland 1, Netherlands 2. But by my watch now, the 90 minutes are up, and indeed, as expected, 5 minutes of added on time. Swiderski tries to chest it into the path of Buxa. Bearing in mind they're missing their talisman, Robert Lewandowski. As the ball is handed to Dumfries to take the throw by the Polish coach, who is going to taste his first defeat as manager since he took charge in September. Zalewski hooks it away downfield. Buxa, tall, fair-haired, gives chase. Dumfries clears it away. Kivior knocks it up into the air. Poland still battling away. Pietrowski shrugs off the challenge of Reinders. He's done well. Plays the ball out towards Frankowski. Pietrowski's continued his run. Ball takes a deflection. It will reach the midfield to Pietrowski, right-hand side of the penalty area. He's done well since he came onto the field of play, but in fact he's just fouled Van Dijk, and that will be a free kick to the Netherlands, much to the joy of the Dutch support behind that goal. As we're into injury time here on BBC Radio 5 Live.
Yeah, they'll take as long as they want as well. Verbruggen now just taking the slowest walk over to that corner flag. He rolls the ball about 5 yards away from the corner flag. And he waits and he waits and he waits for his back four to get on the halfway line.
Poland, their winless sequence is going to continue against the Dutch. Swiderski over the halfway line. Reinders got to put into the challenge. Swiderski managed to knock it back and keep it with Poland. On the right-hand side, they build another attack. Pietrowski, right-hand side of the penalty area, hooks it in low, along the ground. Van Dijk gets it out from underneath his feet, did well. Weghorst, though, didn't. Lost the ball. Shot comes in from Moda. And Verbruggen got his body behind the ball and saved well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the right option, a 25-yard shot at this time of the game. Yeah, he gets it on target. Verbruggen has to go down and do something with it, but I think there was another couple of passes to get a little bit closer to that goal, bounce it off the big man, go again.
You'd have never have heard the end of that back in the close season when they start training again under their new manager at the Amex. Had Moda beaten his Brighton teammate from distance. It did seem to move a little bit in the air. He held on to the ball for quite a long time as he lay on the ground. As Moda now plays the ball back to Chesney. And they did have that little lull, did the Dutch support, when they maybe feared that they weren't going to get off to a winning start, but they have found their voices once again, and they're back in an optimistic mood as their side lead by 2-1 with 2.5 minutes remaining here on 5 Live. Headed away by Van der Ven. Out it goes for a Poland throw on the right. Cross blocks. Hammered away then by Malen. Anywhere will go. Chesney is the one who's going to get there first. He's a long way out of his goal. Midway through the Poland half. Plays the ball forward. And there's a chance to go long for Schliege. The ball is played back now to Frimpong, closed down by Kiwior. Buxa also tries to close it down, and Swiderski will give chase as well, but it was a forlorn task as it goes out for a goal kick. But they still haven't given up, Poland.
No, there's still a lot of energy there. Whether they can muster up another chance. Seconds to go. They've done well today, Poland. They've really had a good go, they have. I mean, the quality of the Netherlands has been better, but Poland haven't laid down. It hasn't been easy at all.
The beating drum sets the tempo inside the stadium for the dancing Dutch support behind the goal as Dumfries lifts it forward. By my watch, we're inside the last 60 seconds. Don't forget, for that game tonight, Serbia-England, live on BBC One. You can also listen to the commentary from John Murray and Matt Upson through the BBC iPlayer, if you so wish. And then 6:06 will give you the opportunity to have your say on the phone-in, as it's now raining here in Hamburg. Last chance for Poland, trailing 2-1. Goes long by Chesney. Buxa gets his touch onto it. Zalewski picks it up. Zalewski with a shot, and Verbruggen palms the ball up in the air and then catches the ball on the rebound. Shot from distance.
What a strike! 25, nearly 30 yards out. That's an unbelievable strike there, on target as well.
It was travelling. And talking of getting going, the Dutch are up and running. They've beaten Poland by 2-1. High fives all round from the Netherlands players down below. They certainly created a hatful of chances in the first half, but they were thwarted. They were frustrated by a Polish side who took the lead through a Buxa header after Gakpo's deflected shot brought them level on the half hour. Poland battled away, but in the end it was Weghorst off the bench with a late winning goal for the Dutch with 7 minutes remaining. Dion, Dublin.
Yeah, I don't think Poland have come to this competition just to be fodder. They gave it a good go today. Little bit of quality in the final third. Needs to be better. Good energy, good organisation, but in the end, it's down to a big lump of a number 9, and they're always useful, them number 9s, let me tell you. Off the bench, great finish, one touch.
Well, he was key in qualifying, and he's proved to be instrumental to get the Dutch off to a winning start. It's finished here in Hamburg. Poland 1, Netherlands 2.
Dion, I knew it was going to be a former Manchester United flop that got the winning goal. I just thought it was going to be Memphis Depay.
Listen, flop or no flop, he's not a flop anymore. Came off the bench, first touch, just a very good centre-forwards goal. Out of the eye line of the defender, then across the defender, just at the last minute, Steve. Perfect, really well executed. But I've got to say, I'll tip my hat to Poland. They gave it a proper good go. Fans were brilliant, Poland were very good, Netherlands were better.
Let's bring Mario Melchiot straight back in. You got over the line, Mario.
Yes, you know, like sometimes things like this happen, you know, like I think when it comes to tournaments like this, it's not about like that you straight away kick off from the get-go, because sometimes it takes a little bit more time in getting yourself back in the moving in the tournament, moving forward. So as long as you keep winning. It wasn't easy. I think the first half they played really well. I think they controlled the game better, and you could see they were. Then the second half, I think what Poland did really well, they substituted like maybe, what is it, 2 in the middle, like the attackers, like maybe 2 or 3 substitution they did in the second half, and then they changed the whole game. And I think that's when Koeman answered, and he said like, I gotta get control back onto this game. Brought Wijnaldum on, Frimpong came on, and then of course, you know, the goal scorer, the guy that sits on the bench. You guys maybe call him in England they call him definitely, I know, I've heard it so many times, they call the word flop they use towards him, but in Holland they don't see him as that. They see him as the guy. He's not the starting player of the team, no, definitely not, but he's the guy that comes on and needs to be done what he's good at, you understand, in the air, and hustle himself around the goal and try to score goals. He did that, and they held on, and I think Van Brugge at the end did some, you know, 2 great saves to make sure that they pushed it over the line.
Oh yeah, I was only playing around without Weghorst, who is clearly a very, very good striker, but mostly for the Netherlands. I was just looking, Jules, he scored 7 goals this season for Hoffenheim. That's his 7th goal for the Netherlands this season as well.
Yeah, and 7 of his last 9 have come off the bench. So the super sub that we've just mentioned coming on with a few minutes left and bringing something different, because he's obviously much taller, much more physical than a Memphis Depay or Donyell Malen or Gakpo, and that's what he does. And for all the talent that Memphis has, far more talented than Weghorst, in those moments you probably would rather have him in the box on that deflected cross by Ake more than Memphis.
The thing is, Dion, he was what no other Dutch player was today, clinical.
Yeah, you know what, Steve, they do get... They try to score, Mario will get this, they try to score a training ground goal, the Netherlands. They try to pass, and just want to tap in. You know, Poland weren't going to allow that today. If you're going to beat us, it's going to take something quite special, and that was a really special goal from Weghorst, albeit 6 yards out, but his movement, and then he gets across, Ake's nice little ball as well. I just feel that if they keep creating that many chances, the Netherlands, they're going to beat most people they play against, as long as they can adjust their finishing just a touch.
But they'll have to take a lot more of them, Dion,
absolutely,
won't they?
Yeah,
because they got away with it in some ways today.
Yeah, they did. You know, this wasn't an easy game for them, by the way. They needed the big man to come on and do it. I don't think they would have won the game if he hadn't have come on. And I know that's a bit of a cliche, but it's a different way to play. And when you've got a big man that comes off the bench, you know you can play through the middle, or you know you can cross it. So you've got 2 options then of scoring a goal. They knew that he was there, and they played a different way, and it worked.
He's a bit like Mario Klaas-Jan Huntelaar for the Netherlands back in the day, in that in the major tournaments he really comes to the floor for 1, and for 2 he is just a more useful player off the bench. It would be dead easy to look at this today and think, oh well, Weghorst must start the next game. He's much more useful as a substitute.
No, I think, you know, like we always had that. You understand? When I was part of the national team, we always have a player that has that height, the tallness, and sometimes when it comes to the last couple of minutes, we bring him on, and it might not look that cute, but we then change the momentum and saying like, okay, leave the nice football to a side, and we're going to bring balls in from the side and cross them more and be more effective. That is only because we don't like to start like that. We try to control the game, open the game up, and make sure that we dictate the tempo and everything. But I think when you face a team that, the last 8 games, they hadn't lost. So you know that it was not going to be easy. But the only thing is that as a Holland side, you expect them to get through them. But the way they stood out, Poland, I have to give them a compliment for that. Because away from the first half, that maybe looked more like a Dutch thing that was going to happen and opening them up. But the second half, the way they answered, I thought it was a really good answer tactically. You know, Probiers, he put them down, and it made it really even harder for the Holland, because there was a moment where they started to take control.
Yeah, I sort of feel, Dion, for Poland a little bit, because they didn't do much wrong today, and I'm sure they'll take a lot from the effort, but then they've got Austria and France to come. So even though, you know, it's a positive performance, it's still a hell of a group.
Yeah, it is. It is a hell of a group. Yes, they will find it difficult to get out of this group. However, that kind of attitude, though, Steve, and organisation is good, and they've got something to work off. It was only a substitute that came on that has made them lose this game. They played well. They defended incredibly well. we didn't really see how well they can defend from crosses, because there weren't any crosses. So that might be another flaw in their makeup. But today, I thought Poland did incredibly well and forced the Netherlands to change the lineup.
Mario, final word to you for now then on this Netherlands team. Did you get more? Well, obviously you've got what you wanted. They won the game. Do you care that they were wasteful, or is it just about the points?
No, this is about, like I said, this is about the points, because I think that's very important. And sometimes we got to be really, understand that you're not always going to win every game really cute. You just have to win sometimes, especially in the beginning of the tournament.
I love the use of the phrase "cute" there. It didn't look that cute, Mario, but you got over the line.
Exactly.
Great to have you with us today, Mario. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brilliant. And Dion and Ian, you'll be dashing back now to Berlin to catch the England game with us, yeah?
Yes, we will.
I think we've been commissioned. Is that the right word for
yes.
Something for social media, which we filmed yesterday. I think it goes socially out tomorrow for the digital version.
Something like that. Yes.
But we've been asked for a bonus edition. For our trip back to Berlin. I bet people can't wait.
Are you a bonus thing that you're going to make during your trip back to Berlin?
BAFTA material this will be, Steve.
Can't wait.
It was that good.
Well, listen, it's going to be like Challenge Annika, but better. Right, off you go. Thank you very much. Good luck. Ian Dennis and Dion Dublin. And remember, for all those lovely little bespoke bits of content, like a travel diary of Germany, you'll be able to hear all of that on the Football Daily podcast on BBC Sounds. You can get it every single day of the tournament. We've got another commentary coming up in an hour's time. It's exactly...